Okay, I'm going to pull the cerebellum down, and you're going to see these 4 bulges. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are, together, they're called the corpora quadrigemina. Okay, and independently, you have 2 superior colliculi and 2 inferior colliculi, and together, again, they form the corpora quadrigemina, which is part of that midbrain. Okay, all right, so now I think we're ready for dissection. Oh, maybe I'll show you this, actually. So we have midbrain. So mesencephalon, metencephalon is that pons. Diencephalon is the medulla. Okay, and there's an area called the medullary pyramids right here. It's kind of a little bulge, and especially when it's not dissected, you'll see it better. It's where you have motor neurons that cross over from, and the example would be, there'd be a motor neuron on this side of the brain. It would travel down through the brainstem until it gets to the medullary pyramids, and then it would cross over to the other side of the spinal cord. Okay, so that's why if you see a patient that's had a stroke, and they have hemiparesis, say they have hemiparesis on the right side, their stroke is on the left side of their brain. Okay, so it has to do with that decussation or crossing over. Alright, so now we're ready for dissection, and I've already dissected this brain. But the first thing you would do is separate the right and left lobes here centrally along the longitudinal fissure. And when you open it up, you'll see a white fiber tract. That's the corpus callosum. If you remember, that allows the right and left brain to communicate with one another. Okay, so, and you'll see this kind of tissue on the cerebrum. That's your pia mater. That's part of your meninges. And remember, that's the gentle mother. So between the dura mater, which is here and would be wrapped around the whole brain, of course, and the pia mater is the arachna mater, right? And then the cerebrospinal fluid travels between that. Okay, so when you make your incision, you want to try to stay as mid-sagittal as possible. The more medial you are, the better your dissection will be, and the more structures you'll be able to identify. So you would just start anteriorly and cut all the way through. Okay, go ahead and take your time. You want to go all the way through the cerebellum as well. Okay, and you will open up your brain and see structures just like this. Okay, so to get oriented again, we'll talk about the cerebrum, so which again is the telencephalon. So here we have the frontal lobes, the parietal lobes, okay, and then the occipital lobes back here. Here's the cerebellum, motor coordination. All right, and then we get to get into some of the deep structures. Oh, here's your optic chiasm that we separated. All right, so we'll go ahead and begin by talking about the ventricles first. So we have 2 lateral ventricles, your right and left lateral ventricle, and here is your left lateral ventricle. And if you look inside, you'll see sort of a reddish structure. That's the choroid plexus, and that's what produces cerebrospinal fluid. And if you really want, you can kind of probe down.